Welcome to episode 1 of my new video series where I'm comparing WordPress versus Wix for bloggers. I know, everyone advises WordPress if you want to start a blog, right? When researching this topic, I started by searching in Google WordPress versus Wix. And to my surprise, the quality of the articles that rank high in Google is pretty bad. Some of them are biased opinions, like the article from wpbeginner.com. Other top-ranking websites say WordPress is the better platform while not giving any good reasons. It's crazy to see these poor quality articles ranking that high in Google on such an important search term many people are searching information on every single day. And just to point out, I'm not saying WordPress isn't the better blogging platform. I'm just saying that their arguments as to why they find WordPress the better blogging platform are pretty bad. My name is Robin and I have more than 10 years of experience running WordPress websites and multiple years of working as an internet marketing consultant at an internet marketing agency. Currently, most of my income comes from me running a WordPress store/blog where I sell my 4 self-published books about puppy training. And last year in 2020 I made $223,320 in revenue after VAT selling my 4 self-published books through my WordPress WooCommerce website. I can publish unbiased research because I don't care whether WordPress or Wix will be the best performing website builder for bloggers. I don't gain any extra benefits when you choose WordPress or Wix, unlike some of the top ranking websites in Google for the search term WordPress versus Wix. So again, welcome to episode 1 of the video series where I'm comparing WordPress versus Wix for blogging. So in this first video I will show you the quality of the top ranking websites in Google for the search term WordPress versus Wix. So let's begin with the popular WordPress blog wpbeginner.com. In their article you'll read that they conclude that WordPress won the comparison in a landslide. And when reading or hearing conclusions, I always want to know how they came up with their decision in detail. I'm like that annoying guy that keeps asking more and more questions to find the real underlying answer. So firstly, their domain name is wpbeginner.com, whereas WP stands for WordPress. And this doesn't scream unbiased to me. And I'm not saying the content on their website is bad. On the contrary, I believe wpbeginner.com offers lots of great high quality content for free for WordPress users. But when they compare their platform WordPress with Wix, one of their biggest competitors, I'm a bit more careful of their intentions. Because you must know their platform wpbeginner.com is 100% focused on helping people with their WordPress websites. Furthermore, they own multiple popular WordPress software tools. These software tools are the popular SEO WordPress tool All-in-One SEO, WP Forms, Monster Insights, Opt-in, Monster and SeedProd. So of course they favor WordPress over Wix. Their complete business model depends on people building businesses and websites with WordPress. If there was a decline in new WordPress websites, their new business would decline too. And knowing all of this, I wonder whether they would speak the truth if they would believe Wix is the better choice for new bloggers. Maybe they would, and perhaps they won't. You never know. What we do know is what arguments they come up with as to why they favor WordPress over Wix. And I plan to cover everything in detail in future videos, but I want to give you a sneak preview of one of their arguments about why they favor WordPress over Wix. So for example, in their second chapter they talk about the ease of use, and the conclusion is that there is a tie between both platforms, meaning there's no winner between the two, whether one is easier to use than the other. So as a heavy WordPress user who built multiple websites for clients and owns a successful blog and store about puppy training I talked about earlier, Wix is easier to use in my opinion. In their chapter of ease of use, they only talk about designing the website. But what about the setup process and the maintenance of the website? They don't talk about that in that article, or at least in that piece of the article. But why not, you wonder? Well, probably because the setup process for WordPress takes a bit longer than the setup process for Wix. And to be clear, I recently published a step-by-step blog where I explain how I set up and launch a new WordPress blog. And it's not that difficult if you know what steps you need to take. But I've gone through the setup process with Wix too, and I can say it's much smoother, far fewer clicks and things you need to do before you have your website up and running. Furthermore, and this is the tricky part, there's ongoing maintenance for WordPress websites. On my WordPress blog, where I sell my 4 self-published books, I have more than 30 plugins installed. As a WordPress website owner myself, I need to update these plugins myself when there is a new update. Also, there are template updates and WordPress core updates. WordPress does have a feature to enable automatic updates. Still, if you have an important website that generates lots of revenue for you, in my opinion, you don't want automatic updates. Well, whenever you update your WordPress website, you need to make sure you have created a backup of your current working website. So why do you need a backup? So whenever you update, there is a chance something isn't working correctly any longer. One time my WordPress website crashed because one of the 30 plugins I updated had an error. So imagine generating $500 with your website per day and suddenly your website stops working. So with Wix, you don't have to worry about updating your website. Wix does this for you in the background. There's no downtime. Also, Wix has a nice little feature called Site History, which is basically your backup tool. If you screwed something up, you can go back in your site history and pick the one before you screw things up. But enough about this, since I go into too much detail for this video already. But it's just to give you an example that in my opinion, WPBeginner.com didn't do their due diligence on researching every little aspect. In my opinion, you can't answer WordPress versus Wix in one single blog post with only a few thousand words. You need to test so many variables to find the real answer to whether what platform works best for bloggers. And that's my goal. It's finding the real answer to what platform works best for bloggers. And maybe it is WordPress, but I want to have good and honest arguments about why it isn't or is. Then we have websitetooltester.com explaining that they advise every hardcore blogger to use WordPress. So their argument is for that statement, and I quote, WordPress has always been mainly focused on blogging options, and that's why it has all the features you need out of the box, such as tags, categories, RSS, etc. So this is their argument for why hardcore bloggers should go with WordPress. Tags, categories, RSS? Really? Is that your argument for hardcore bloggers? Come on, bro. Couldn't you come up with anything better than that? Tags? Who the heck uses tags and categories any longer in blogging? And RSS? Who uses that? I consider myself pretty knowledgeable in the SEO field, but this guy, Brian Dean from Backlinko.com, who many people follow as the SEO expert, explain he never uses tags and advises people to no index category and tag pages. And then the etc. at the end finishes it. Beautiful conclusion. Okay, we're not entirely done yet with finding great arguments for choosing WordPress over Wix. I found another article also ranking on the first page on Google when searching for WordPress versus Wix from ecommerceplatforms.com. They say, and I quote, part of the reason that we think WordPress might be better for e-commerce business owners than Wix is that it combines things like content marketing and SEO with sales opportunities. So maybe it's because I'm not a native English speaker, but where the heck are they talking about, man? It combines things like content marketing and SEO with sales opportunities? Oh my god, bro, what are these crap arguments about? I don't even understand what they're saying. Then they follow up with that statement by saying that they consider the WordPress features for blogging to be a lot better than what Wix can offer. Okay, so what good reasons do they mention that support that statement? For starters, they mention that there isn't a great commenting system within Wix blogs. Apparently, you need to use Facebook comments, they say. So I tested this myself on my free Wix website, and I can just comment on my blog post anonymously without using Facebook comments. And lastly, the biggest difference according to ecommerceplatforms.com is that within WordPress you have the option to place an image on the top of your blog post. Oh my god, an image at the top of a blog post? For real? Are you kidding? That's so cool, bro. In my opinion, we're focusing on totally the wrong things here. Do you really think that because of the fact that you can insert an image at the top of your blog post makes a difference in how much money you can make with your blog? Or in regards to how much traffic your blog gets? No, of course not, man. And the other thing they mention is that you can backdate content within WordPress, and according to them, you can do that within Wix. So besides the fact that you can backdate content within Wix, it doesn't matter. Like, focus on the things that make a difference in your blogging career instead of whining about these useless little things. So if you read other articles ranking on the first page of Google on the search term WordPress versus Wix, they pretty much say the same thing in other words. Some of them just copy and paste one another and don't do proper research themselves. The same argument comes up again and again. So the conclusion. So as of now, I am rebuilding my WordPress blog into Wix to figure out whether Wix can do the same trick for my blogging website as WordPress does for me. So I'm still figuring out who's the winner, and do note, I definitely like WordPress. But I'm not the kind of person with a tunnel vision. No, I want to keep my eyes open, and my goal is to publish an actual trustworthy report where I'll share all my findings and conclusions. Especially for beginners, it's important to know the facts about both website builders. So thanks for watching this first episode of my video series WordPress versus Wix. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't want to miss the following video of this video series. I'm sharing more and more updates while my research continues on WordPress versus Wix, to eventually share my final conclusion of the real winner for new bloggers. So researching this takes quite a bit of time, so if you like these videos, please let me know by clicking that like button. And if you don't like the video, then please let me know as well, as I want to know whether or not I'm doing a good job here. Anyhow, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.